So my name's Kismet Meyon. I'm a member of Greater London Authority and the Mayor of London's Pit Outreach team. I'm also a creative, a student of politics and international relations, and a human rights activist. And we are today having an in conversation with the amazing Glory Talks. Glory, would you like to give yourself an introduction?
Thank you, Kiz. My name is Glory Talks. I'm a broadcaster, performer, and presenter from South London.
Picked up. So what we're doing today is we are celebrating World Mental Health Day 2020, and we are raising awareness on young people being in London, and just discussing mental health and well-being. So, Glory, in respect of all the amazing work you do, what kind of made you want to get into the creative industry?
I think from like a young age, I've just enjoyed performing or delivering something in a creative manner to like an audience, or even if it's just like my family in the living room. So that's just like kind of carried on into my young adult life. And then I realized, I can actually make a career out of this. And then towards the end of secondary school, I realized, there's a whole industry that's like built upon this, making your own work, being a pioneer and something new that you've invented or created, and essentially storytelling through that as well. Whatever you kind of want to communicate to the world, you do it in your own unique way. So, yeah.
And I love that. In respect of that, over the last 6 months, what kind of barriers do you think, the pandemic has brought to that?
During the pandemic, simple things like not being able to physically go and do my radio show live, that one kind of hit me the most, because every week when I go and do radio, it's like that one consistent highlight throughout the year. And then for that to just be taken away from me for over 3 months, it was quite a big blow. But then in the house, I found other things to do. Yeah.
Yes. If you want to, you can share.
Do you know what? First part of lockdown, I was baking.
Ooh.
I made like a sticky banana cake, some chocolate cake, cupcakes. And then I got bored because I realized like, I'm not really trying to go on the British Bake Off. So like, let me drop the cakes. Like, this is not what I do. And then I ended up making like a little Instagram series, which is coming back, called Playlist Paints, where I literally paint my face inspired by music I'm listening to, whether new or old. So yeah.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. You're making me feel hungry now. Make me want some cakes.
I want a whole cake now.
So in respect of young people, what do you think the barriers are for young people to sort of get within the industry?
I think one of the barriers that I see kind of day to day is that there are not that many hubs or organizations that kind of nurture that foundation or that little spark a lot of young people have to be creative. They usually have to go to certain environments to kind of let that grow, but some people can't actually access that for many factors, whether environment, or maybe they can't afford their sessions, or maybe they don't actually know about it because where they're from or the people they're around, they don't really look at the creative industry as a career path. They think it's just all fun and then that's it. So I think if there were more organizations and just like I said, a hub where young people can get free studio time, whether it's photography, whether it's voiceover work, whether it's filmmaking or animation or even graphics, then I think a lot of young people realize, I can do this from young. I can do it. I don't have to wait till I go to university. I don't have to wait until I'm picking my options for GCSE. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I fully agree with everything. I really do. And so with sort of everything that you sort of mentioned and all the barriers and stuff, you know, and being a young creative myself, I find it difficult. What kind of coping mechanisms do you have personally that could help other young creatives?
I think when I'm like in a mind boggle, or I don't feel as motivated given the current time that we're in, it's very easy to have your motivation fly out the window. I think I remember why I've started it. And then if that doesn't work, like simple things like scrolling on my Instagram to see what I've done before and then going, oh, right, it's actually okay. I'm okay. But then if the young person doesn't have like a portfolio like that, I would say look to the people that inspire you and actually understand that they've had to come from somewhere to be where they are today. So like literally, if it's someone that you love watching on YouTube, look at their old videos, compare it. You're like, wait, what? They used like a dead brick phone to record their videos. Now they're on the 4K high quality. Then I can do this. And also sometimes just go outside and do something completely fun, separate from what you're worried about. Go to the cinema, obviously socially distancing. Go out with a friend or go out by yourself. Buy yourself some lunch or some dinner. And if you can't afford that, go to a place where you find really beautiful or like you're at ease when you're in that place. Whether it's a studio that allows you to go there for free or it's a park that is like really, really peng, go there and just think. Be inspired by the environment. People watch as well. Have a notepad and people watch. Literally, you can find stories. You can find little pockets of magic, as people say, when you like watch other people. Yeah.
No, I love doing that. I love going down. Like down here, we've got really nice riverside space, and I love water. So anything to do with nature and water, I'm there.
Yeah, the sound of water. It's top tier. Top tier.
So you have a very big growing YouTube channel, and we see that you've interviewed quite a few amazing people. Yeah. Who would be your most favorite and inspirational, and why?
Oh, that's hard, you know. In terms of what though? Because people, they inspire me for different things.
Okay, let's say off the back of our conversation now, in terms of when you found it hard, and you know you had to go and check at your own what's the word, like someone who inspires you, so you would have to go and just realize that they've grown, and who's that been for you? And yeah.
Do you know what? If we're talking the people I've interviewed,
you could say a couple if it's going to be that hard.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a couple. This is hard, you know. Okay, from the back of, like, because you put me on the spot, caught me slipping, I would say Kayode Wimi, because he's been creating his own content from the get-go, and it's taken him into bigger rooms and bigger spaces, and still having that integrity and that ownership of your work. It can get very hard once you start getting recognized by big names or whatever. But from what I can see in the conversation that I had with him, that hasn't phased him at all, which is very good. Oh my gosh, this is very hard. Do you know what? I think that's it, you know. From the back of my head, like, everyone else, they're either like a musician, right? But like, you're talking about the whole ball game, like, literally. Yeah, I think Kayode, yeah. I'll give him that. Medal. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me. And anyone that I haven't mentioned, I'm not trying to violate you. I've been put on the spot, so
sorry. Yeah. Sorry. We love to know who inspires who and why, you know, because again, you can go look at that person and they can inspire. Anyone watching this can then go do their research and feel inspired as well. Because obviously what you said as well, you know, that there's so many young people that don't even know you can make it into a career. They don't know how to get into it. So the whole aspect of having a hub and all of that, I love all of that. You know, I love all that talk, because part of my team is to try and create that and create avenues for young people to use whatever art it is to, you know, express themselves, because I personally find that very powerful. On that note, did you always want to be a radio presenter?
You know what? Not always, you know. When I was like, if you asked me when I was like 4 years old, I wanted to be a ballerina so bad. So bad. And then I realized, you know what? Using my tiptoes all the time, that's not for me. Do you know what I mean? That's not really for me. And then I wanted to be an actor, and just an actor. That's it. And once I was studying theatre, I discovered radio. Then I said, you know what? We can do this as well. And I've enjoyed it ever since. So that was when I was 14.
Wow. That's from early, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy. I'm a Gemini, so I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. It's just like, whoa.
But you can. That's the thing. I tell a lot of like young people, even people older than me, when I tell them what I do, or when they criticize people that have a couple hats on at the same time, and they start to say, oh, why are you doing so much? It's like there's this culture in the UK that you have to do one thing and then that's it. But literally, if you invest in it, and if you're good at it, and if you enjoy it, you actually can do a couple things. Like, I know a lot of people that are doing brilliant things in different prospects of the creative industry. So why can't other people do it? You literally
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, it's this old narrative of like, find your career and that's your destined career. Like, you know, you just got to stick with it wherever you get your degree in, basically. And it's just like, whoa, actually, that might not be it. And then obviously with the pandemic and everything going on politically, you know, you kind of have to think about other avenues of how you want your voice to be heard. But I think that's amazing that you knew from early, and, you know, you've followed through with your passion. So it's inspiring to hear.
Thank you.
What would you advise any young people in general over the pandemic and everything that's been going on?
A lot of people say this, but I genuinely mean it, is don't be so hard on yourself. If you're seeing other people do amazing things or achieve this and achieve that, especially in this time, be patient with yourself. Keep on doing what you're doing. Don't overwork yourself, because not having any time to rest and having no days off doesn't equate to your self-worth. And you have to rest in order to work well. So work hard, but most importantly, work smart. Don't be hard on yourself. Be patient with yourself and be yourself. Because when people say this, it's like, yeah, be yourself. But literally, don't even think about it. You're already not manufactured, but you're already made as yourself. Just relax and just be yourself, because people think being yourself, there's a particular formula of doing that. No, just literally live. Be yourself, and you will attract the things that are for you. But then when you pretend to be someone else, things will begin to be it'll go a little left. So be yourself, yeah, and take it easy.
Yeah. I love that. No, I love that. I need to take a lot of that on board myself. Overworked? What? But yeah, I guess that's the new COVID working, isn't it? Being young, we've got like 101 freelance things going on. It's just like, yeah. So that's definitely, I think a lot of young people will appreciate that. Now, talking about social media and all of that, you always get a load of trolls, don't you? Like, in general, who are just already like so quick to just say whatever. Has it ever happened to you, and how have you dealt with that?
Like getting trolls?
Yeah, you know, like as soon as you work for someone so big, and, you know, there's always going to be that horrible person that will just say something stupid, you know, just to get whatever likes. And, you know, just, even when you go down whatever someone's platform and you just see someone being really horrible just for the sake of it. And it's like, I've always thought, how do like big names, like actors and whatnot. How do people deal with that kind of thing, especially if there's something, you know, in the news about them or whatever? This hasn't happened with you per se. It's just in general, working in the industry, having that platform and that reach with people. How do you deal with like negative press, let's say, or not to say that there has been negative press, but do you know what I'm saying? You get my drift?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Like, I'm not on, you know, the front page of the Sun slipping,
Nah.
but I get what you mean. Like, there's also levels to it. Like, people who are big and out there and are quite vulnerable in terms of being targeted by trolls. I think they just don't read it. It's when you read it, that's when it starts getting to you. For me, my experience with trolls is very, very low. And I'm very happy about that. Literally, if I just see something I don't like, block, mute, unfollow. Literally, I think because I'm not, I have zero tolerance for rubbish on my social media. So I think because of that, no trolls could ever like come to me to talk rubbish. And the requests, I kind of stay away from that, because you can get some good music submissions and there's some weird people and there's some horrible people that are just being horrible just to be horrible. And it's scary because that you hear stories of trolls actually being the people that those people know behind like a burner account just being horrible. But I would say in general, just be very quick to block them, report it, mute, even mute content that you don't want to see on your social media. I have over 300 words muted on my Twitter alone. So just to protect yourself online as well, just as outside, so you're not that vulnerable, because it does affect you. You think it doesn't, but then throughout the day, after you've locked your phone, you're like, whoa, why am I still thinking about this? It was just a tweet or it was just a post. Why am I comparing myself to that person? Why is that troll who I've probably never met or who's in my inner circle like controlling me like this? So yeah.
No, I think that's amazing advice, because there's so much going on with it, you know, and people are always quick to bring someone down. And yeah, I think that's the best advice, really. Just quick block. Bye. Literally just don't take notice of it. Yeah. No, yeah, definitely great advice.
Well, I would also like to add, yeah, when you feel like your mental health is maybe like deteriorating a little bit, or just before that, I would say have one day a week where you pamper yourself, whether it's you buy your favorite snack and sit there and stream your favorite show most of the day. You know, that day is off. I'm not doing anything other than that. Or, for example, my self-pampering day is face masks, exfoliating, scrubs, and it makes yourself feel good. I feel as if when you look good, you feel good. So just try to make that effort in whatever way to make yourself feel good in order to keep on track with your mental health, because it's literally the same as making sure you're not consuming too much junk food. Otherwise, A and B will happen. Weight, whatever, your mood. Also, it's actually been proven that the food that you eat does actually kind of relate to your mood. Same thing with mental health, whether it's skincare, going out, buying something you really love. Just treat yourself, treat your mind. Yeah.
I fully agree with that, definitely. It's always easier said than done, isn't it? Because sometimes you sit there, procrastinate, oh, should I be doing this when I've got this to do? And I guess, like you said, you've got to recover, don't you? You can't just because you'll burn out, and eventually you're just like, you won't give anything your 100 because you're burning out. You need to recover. But Glory, it has been such a pleasure to speak to you, to hear from you, to learn a lot from you as well. Just remind us, where can we grab you and check you, the YouTube channel, socials, and the amazing radio station that you work for?
Thank you. You can hear me every Friday on Represent. That's 107.3 FM from 10 a.m. to noon. So it's Friday breakfast crew. And if you want to look at my pictures and see my weird dance moves, it's Glory Talks with an S, a Glory with a Y on Instagram, Glory_Talks on Twitter, and on YouTube if you want me screaming about things I don't actually like, or kind of like a diary entry kind of content. Glory Talks on YouTube. And thank you for having me. This has been such a chilled, fun conversation.
No, that's what we like to do in the outreach team. We like to welcome people and just be on level, and that's exactly how you've been. And just thank you for all you do for the community, everything that you do in general. And God bless, honestly. Thanks.
And to you.
Oh.
Hi, my name's Kizzy, or Kismet. To be honest, the last 6 months has been an extreme struggle, roller coaster, heightened emotions, craziness really, as for so many people. But I learned a lot about myself, I learned a lot about my coping mechanisms. It's been very eye-opening, to say the least. It's important to talk about mental health because it's not very spoken about. There's so many different aspects to it, and I think the more we talk about it, the more we can address the situations that affect us more than what other people may think, especially those creating the laws against us. Yes, actually all 3 were written during lockdown. If the 3rd one gets played, it was heavily political. Types of Kind was written because from the life that I've lived being a care leaver and to where I am now, being able to study at university, being able to work for such a great team like the Pit Outreach team, made me realise all the types of kindness there are in the world, especially when lockdown was really hard for me. I realised that there was more out there that I should be happy about as opposed to sit in my sorrows.
We hope you've enjoyed the first part of the festival as much as we have.
We've built in a 30-minute break so everyone can take a break from the screen.
But join us again from 3 p.m. for more activities.
If you've just joined us and don't need a break, then check out our virtual marketplace on Anytime content. That's on the festival website.
And remember, wherever you're tuning in from, join the conversation on social media. Use the hashtags #ThriveLDN and #WMHD2020.